Here we are. Okay. Let's just sit for a second. Finding either a hero's pose or simple cross-legged. Yeah, feel the ground for a moment. Need to make sure, one last thing, that I can see a timepiece so I don't go crazy over time. Okay, let's put this closer. Okay. So, finding the ground for a moment. And let's just let our eyes close and feel the ground underneath the body. Feel the ground underneath the sits bones. The rooted nature of the earth. And then really feel, perhaps with your mind's eye, what's underneath the floorboard that you're sitting on. What's below? What's the structure of the building you're in? How does it tie into the earth? How deep does it go? How deep does it go? Down, down, down. The foundation and the energy that you carry in your body guiding through those floors. Right now I'm on the 24th floor, so I've got to go down some elevator shafts all the way down to actually feel this sandy desert. What is the quality of the earth that you're upon? I know that some of you are in a fertile, rain-soaked earth. Some of you are in an island, a soggy island in Europe, a misty island. And then I'm here as a message from the desert dwellers, feeling that earth as the foundation of what you can stand upon, how you can find that ease to do all of your actions from the place, the ground you stand on, your purchase. Without ground, we're floating, and I think that many of us experience anxiety at this time. It's very natural to feel anxious with news of the world. And feeling the ground can give you this space to let that excess of energy, which anxiety is, it's often just floating bubbles of insecurity or worry, predictions of the future, living in the future, or imaginations about the past. Things that are not real. And the only thing powerful enough to soak up that is the energy of the ground. So when you have moments of that floating anxiety, to remember that the ground is what can soak it up. And then, we take these principles of rooting to rise. And so we have the rooted nature of our being right now, feeling this ground that takes the electricity of our brain and literally grounds it. And then we Feel the pull of the ether. So from that heavenly place, guiding our skull up, connect with the heavens, divinity, the muse, the avatars that come from the divine place that guide us in this, let's be honest, really confusing human experience. Feeling your head be tugged by that invisible string to our guides, to our higher selves, to our higher nature, to the part of ourselves that we always know we have that is not concerned with the petty, not concerned with the transitory, not concerned with anything that is not rooted in love. Because, honey, we don't got time. We do not have time for the small thinking. Letting your shoulder blades really rest on your back, your collarbones be wide. And then let's find the breath in this root and rise. So bringing the breath all the way into the body and exhale. Finding an ujjayi through the nose breath, so making a slight whisper at the back of the throat, the nose, feeling the nose breath like an ocean. This tender spot, finding where the ocean meets the shore. And for a moment, envisioning a spot that gives us this sense of divinity. This word genius, I was reading about the etymology of the beginning of that word, and we've heard about this idea of, it's only recently that the word genius has been attached to people. Before it was, we all had a genie in the sky, and when we felt that kind of creative divine spark, that was your genie, your genius was there. But it also is used for location, loci genie, loci genius. And so what's like the spot in your mind that gives you that sense of muse or that sense of inspiration? What's a landscape on earth that you could, in your mind's eye, bring you? Is it, if it's not the Las Vegas desert, I understand. I personally feel much more connected to places that have water, and I feel a little strange when I'm in a place without rushing water, a lake or an ocean or a river. But perhaps you've had sacred experiences in the deserts where that gives you that kind of that peace, that dry, arid, clean, cleansing peace. I feel that here. It's like the hot winds. Rest with your grounded sits bones, sitting like a yogi, so like pushing into the avatar of this, the physicality of the yogi inside of you, as opposed to finding an external form, really letting the role of the yogi, sitting tall, feeling the conduit between heaven and earth, rooting to rising, and just sitting in this place in the mind's eye that gives you the peace to feel that ground, the loci genie. And smiling, finding a smile on your lips, And let's open our eyes and look at me for a second. Look at the screen and look at me. Hi. So I want to focus this class a little bit on, because it's Father's Day, and oh hey, I just need to turn notifications. Oh gosh, I've lost everything. Am I still there? Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't know if I can turn off my notifications. Okay, so I wanted to talk about, it is Father's Day, you know, and there comes a lot with that, right? But about the idea of the father, but more into the macro, and it also is Juneteenth, which holds a lot of power. When we look at our past of inconceivable transgressions towards humanity. And these 2 days coming at the same day, I was thinking about what is the divine masculine, and how with patriarchal decisions we've really lost the divine masculine. And the divine masculine, I know most of you there know this, but I'll just repeat it. It has nothing to do with gender and feminine and masculine energy, or it doesn't matter what gender you're presenting, or if you're even, you know, a non-binary presenter. We all play with the dance of masculine and energy, and masculine and feminine energy, the yin and the yang, the tapas and the rest. Oh, fun. You know, I don't think even Mercury is in retrograde, but I'm definitely experiencing some. There we go. We just gotta laugh at it. Oh my gosh.
Great, you can, yeah, great.
Is that good? Yeah, it just lost its form. Just went, whoop. Okay, it looks all right. Thanks. Can you hear me all right as well? Because I don't have my little earbuds in. Yeah? So the masculine energy of the divine masculine energy. And so what I'd like to do is to move, I'll continue talking about it, but move into some poses that allow us to like find a little bit of that divine masculine, you know, the father inside us, the father, the lover, the warrior, and through that, and I think that through Rizo, I find a lot of joy in finding the divine masculine through a lot of feminine externals. I did a little show last night here where I really get to play up. I was a guest in an evening here in Vegas, and I got to play up my kind of feathery dom side. That's what I called it. So like, yeah, I have a divine masculine for sure, and it's kind of what comes out a lot more in performance. Okay, so let's get on our backs. Let's start moving it a little bit, but it's going to be not like a crazy active class today. We'll get into our back, stand our legs for a moment, and let's just actually give ourselves a big hug. So like reach one arm around to the shoulder blades and the other to the other side. And if you can, actually grabbing your shoulder blades and then letting the knees fall from one side to the other. Just waking up the spine and finding the breath. So how I've spoken about my divine feminine and masculine energy before is like feminine energy is the ocean, it's the wild sea, it's the weather, And, but if we're using the sea, just go back and forth as I'm doing this with your legs. If we're using the sea, the sea or the ocean metaphor, the masculine energy is like the boat navigating on that sea. And so feminine energy can be wild and expansive and unpredictable. And the masculine energy, if you're viewing it from like, a comparison thing, could seem smaller. But it's so important because it's it's activation, it's focus, it's energy, it's tapas, it's leading through the wildness. And when masculine energy, okay, let twisting go, and let's bring the right leg stretched out, the left leg hug it into the chest. When the masculine energy gets aggressive or toxic, that's when it gets toxic, when it gets shouty or pushy. And that happens inside the body. If the body is a canvas, okay, so find the places in your hip where you can just move around your hip socket, move around the knees, so you're finding the spots that are a little stuck in the hip. Going into the hips today because that also is where a lot of that masculine energy can be sourced in the second chakra. Let's interlace the hands behind the thigh and extend the top leg as much as possible and just find some circles there. So fingers are interlaced between the left thigh. And the right heel is really pushing out and grounded. Stretching both legs away from each other. And let's point and flex in your own timing. So if the feminine energy is the art upon the canvas, no, the feminine energy is the entire container, so the canvas. And then how do we fill the canvas with breath? That's finding that masculine, touching into that masculine. So when you find yourself being aggressive in any poses, I just want you to remind yourself that it's more attentive. And that the thing is that we need attentive. Bring the knee back in. Because unless we're attentive, let's bring the whole knee package over to the right and find just an early twist here. And gaze over to the left. Gaze over to your left hand. If you're not attentive, then that divine masculinity becomes wishy-washy. And I feel like we've seen this definitely in a human exploration of like a very wishy-washy person that if they're in a leadership role, they don't have the right kind of divine masculine because it just feels flaccid. Because we need that kind of attention. And so in our body, bringing the knee back in, hugging it, maybe giving a little kiss to your knee if you can. Oh, I love you, knee. Thank you, joints. Thank you so much. Releasing that out. Let's bring the other leg in. Oh my God. Bringing that attention to the body without aggression. So how you can express a feminist utopia in your own body with divine masculinity is that you can go in with attention and focus and noticing, but not aggression. So not pushing past. And often people who have worked in somatic places, so if they've been teachers or dancers of movement, I'm looking at you, Susie, there can be a little bit of aggression from early childhood kind of dogmatic movement, and you can be in a comparison place. Hugging that knee in, finding the places of the hip that are just need a little attention. Interlocking behind the thigh and straightening the foot. Let's just find how straight we can let that hamstring go, and finding some circles here, and finding the pops, snap, crackle, pop, orchestra. So yeah, not going into the toxic by being aggressive, and finding these moments where it's like, oh yeah, I'm living out some toxic masculinity inside of me. And instead, we use the breath to explore the container in every pose, and use attentive energy, the loving father, the caring father, the guiding father energy internally. Bring that knee back, we'll twist it over, gaze to the right. Bring the knees back into the chest, hugging the knees in. Oh, we didn't kiss our right knee. Let's extend that left knee up, kiss it. Because we need all the loving we can get to our sweet little joints. Kiss it. What's kind of great about practicing yoga in a place where you're not in a class is that we lower our needs to impress anyone or our shyness about doing things or making sounds. And so I want to invite you all, you're all muted. We're going to make some sounds in a little bit, and just let it be a place where you can make sounds, like experience some freedom. We've been conditioned out of so much freedom by social conditioning and by the lack of the accessibility to just expression in our lives. And so letting the feet ground into the earth, feeling that pressure into the earth. We're going to rise up our arms and our hips at the same time, coming into bridge pose with an inhale, and then exhale it all out as we lower the hips down and the arms down. Arms and hips rise, pressing into the earth, and then lower it out in a big sigh. Make this next one a big inhale, and then with the exhale, listen, sigh it all out, a voiced sigh. Ah. And the next inhale, raising the hips and the arms up, pressing the head back into the mat and the earth. And with the exhale, let's find the sound vom. Vom. This is the sound of that chakra, the orange chakra. Inhale. Pressing the hips up, and then exhale, vom. This is the syllable of the divine masculine. Inhale. Let's say Rama this time. Rama. Once more. Inhale. Rama is the divine masculine, one of the agents of that. Rama. Nice. And then hips up. And let's just pulse it in here. Pulsing up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Arms up to the sky. Yes, let's just hump the heavens. Let's find our divine masculinity through sacred portal of sky humping. And release that down. And then we're going to push up. Bring the left leg into the chest. Stamp the ceiling with the left leg. Point the toe. Bring the whole left package down. Touch the earth. Back up. Press into the ground with your hands. And one more. Lower down. Rise up. Navel to the spine. Lower. Bend. Press into the left. And now we're going to bring that right knee into the chest. Press it up, stamp the sky, right foot pressing up, busting through all the clouds that may have kept you from this clarity. Lower down, straight leg, lower up. You're lowering your right
Straight leg down as your hips are still pressing into the sky. You can do it, press them higher. Oh yes, and pressing up, navel to spine, bend the knee, press it down, sky humpers, relax. Arms out to the T. Let's just go back and forth, windshield wipers. Let's bring the left ankle to the right knee, right above the right knee, and then we'll bring that whole package down to the right. So you're making a figure 4. And then the left arm, I want you to reach it up towards the sky and opening that whole side body. Bring your right arm even to help find more breath into the left, the intercostals, and maybe even find it all the way up to the right hand is reaching to the left wrist, really pulling there. And breathe, noticing, attentive. Filling the breath, painting the breath into this posture. Letting the breath just wash over the canvas of this shape. And bring that whole cross-leg package up. Hug the knees in. Once again, let's kiss both knees. Oh my God, thank you, joints. I know it's so hard. I put you through so much. Okay, pressing back down. And bringing the right foot over to right above the left knee. Bringing that whole package down. So the foot is coming to the earth. The right foot's coming to the earth. The knee is angling over to the left. Arms out and then all the way up, feeling that length through the right side body. And even touch yourself here. Touch your ribs. Feel that expanse of the breath really opening the ribs on that right side. Spread the fingertips of the right hand on the ground. Letting orange, the color of orange, open up the hip area all the way through the ribs. Oh yeah, nice. Standing that left foot back up, bringing that whole cross package, and bringing the feet back to standing. It's nice to be here for a second, but let's just do a little bit more here. I'm having a nice Sunday, luxurious hip circle here on the ground. And what I want you to do is you find the clock that is your pelvis. And you've got the top of your pelvis, or like right above the navel, is 12. And then you're going to go around to 3. So 3 would be pressing the right hip down into the earth. Then tip to the tailbone, that's 6. And then you've got 9 on the left hip, and then roll it back into 12. Okay, so let's go 12, 3, 9, 9, 6, 9, 12. And now I'm just going to call out numbers, and I want you to find them on your pelvic clock. So again, you've got a large circular clock that's sitting on your pelvis. You're like Flava Flav, but it's on your pelvis. You just got a clock there. And 12, 6, 12, 6, 3, 9, 3, 9, 2, 7, 2, 7, 5, 11, 5, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pressing into that side. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, I want to skip over those ones. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Feels good. The divine masculine lover likes to get in his hips. Do you know what I mean? Pressing up to tabletop. Now,
yeah, there's a sensual nature to this for sure. But it's not sexual. The sexual and the sensual are different, as we know. And the sensual can be all alone, right? And it doesn't even have to be connected to this human idea of sex. When you're in tabletop, let's just do an easy cat-cow first. So tailbone and skull for cow, coming, the chest reaching forward, the shoulder blades, and let's stick out the tongue in this pose now. And then coming into slow cat, the spine arches up to the sky. The navel pulls up. Finding a few breaths here where you're able to really feel that this expanding shoulder blades and rib cage, the back body. Coming back into neutral, cow, stick out the tongue, open the wide eyes. Inhale, cow. And then let's just free it up. Let's find like explorative circles. Find where let's like ask our own bodies without judgment. Where are you today? What might help you open up to this sense of divine masculine play, where we're bringing energy of what needs to be done, feeling rooted by the ground, but also by that feeling of navigating and not abusing. Navigating, what's that fine line? Like, I'm navigating in the body, but I'm not abusing. I'm not making myself feel small because I can't figure out how to turn off the notifications in my phone while I'm doing the Zoom. I'm just like riding with it. And then with each moment they're in a new challenge. And if I'm not able to meet the challenge, like letting it go. Figuring out what we can let go, as opposed to this grasping of an idea of what we needed to do or needed to be today. Nice. Okay, great. Tuck the toes a bit. Let's raise up the knees, and we'll suck in the navel to the spine, holding it here for a moment. Lower back down. Child's pose. Coming forward from child's pose, bending the arms, we're going to bring the nose on the mat up towards into cobra. So snaking along here into a little baby cobra. Toenails are pressing down, shoulder blades onto the back. Gaze forward, pressing into the arms. Sit back into child's pose once more. Bring your fingers to fingertip tables. Letting the shoulder blades go wide here, and then the tailbone is wide, and really sticking the seat out, and then hands go flat again, and once again snaking the nose along the mat here, and then snaking forward into that cobra, finding that slithery snake, shoulder blades onto the back, toenails pressed into the floor. Some light pressure with the palms here. Release down the head, relax it to one side, then nose again to the mat. Inhale, pressing up, cobra, exhale, other side of the cheek, relax for a second. Nose back down, inhale, eyes, gaze, chin, chest. Don't lock the head back. Press into the arms. Bring your cobra a little higher. Toenails press into the ground and release down. Exhale. Inhale, one more. Pressing into the hands, back into child's pose once more. Tucking the toes. Downward facing dog. Our first downward facing dog of the day. Oh, it feels good. Let's walk it out in however you want to walk it. I'm just going to check out your dogs. Yeah, you look amazing. Everything's looking so good. So remember, in this dog, we've got the heels aiming to the ground. We've got the 5 fingers of each palm pressing into the earth. The sits bones really aiming for the heavens here. The shoulder blades on the back. Oh yeah, really tilt the pubic up. Bend the knees, straighten, and let's tippy toe forward in a slow fashion. All the way to the front of the mat into a forward fold. Release the head out, no. Shake it out, no. Let all that extra neck tension go. Shake it out, yes. Nice. Press the feet into the ground. Reverse swan dive as you protect the navel all the way up, flat back, reaching up. Gazing up into those heavens, into that divine place. As you feel the feet ground, reverse swan dive all the way back down. Exhale, inhale, raise up. Exhale, left leg steps back into a lunge, finding that first lunge, opening up the hip. Let the knee come down to the ground, soft as ghee, like butter. It's like butter. Opening up that hip. Oh, releasing the top of the hip flexors. Fingertips come up onto little tables here. What do you call that? Gecko hands. And then using that lower navel to spine to protect the lower back. Sucking in here. We're going to press into the feet and knee like a diagonal. And then bring this into a lower lunge with the arms up. And arms back down. And then a baby Hanuman with the left leg straight. And then coming back out to that lower lunge. Pressing into the fingertips, the foot and the knee suction together. Raising the arms up to that lower lunge, soft as ghee. That's what this pose translates to in from Sanskrit. And I do like thinking about butter. Then back into the monkey pose, Hanuman. This pose is a challenge for us all, lifting above the knee. But Hanuman was leaping across the sun, to grab the sun because the monkey thought it was a mango. It's this idea of like the playful leap towards what we want, which is divine masculine energy. It takes that masculine energy to go towards what we want to manifest. Ah, nice. Pressing back, tucking the back toe, coming into a lunge here where the knee's off the ground. And then we're pressing into the ground with that same idea, kissing the ground with our feet, and then finding that diagonal and using the navel to protect the spine. We'll come to a crescent lunge here. Crescent lunge. Pressing back with that right ankle and foot. Pressing forward with the left. Shoulder blades on the back. Navel to spine. Nice. And then opening, warrior 2, finding the warrior. This is definitely a way into the divine masculine because we're love warriors here. And that takes strength, it takes stability. The staff in the sand, that's an image of masculine and feminine, is like the staff in the sand. And then around that staff is the whirling dervish of feminine energy dancing around that staff. But the circle of the wild banshee Sufi twirls around the staff in the sand, it's going around a circle that is rooted with the divine masculine. Nice. Pressing your feet together, pulling your feet together like
long lost lovers that are coming for a kiss. This is good. We're finding these longer holds. Flip it, flip the front hand, reverse the warrior, paint the sky, open up, lean back, a lean back, a lean back, a lean back. Oh, opening up the left side. Nice. That's good. Reaching out over the left and a side angle pose. Finding that long line from the fingertips of the right to the foot of the right. And then bringing those nippies a little to the sky. Hey, nips, let your nipples and like see the ceiling a bit, a tiny bit, but don't lose the bend in the front leg. Nice. Oh, yes. And then let's straighten that front leg and find a triangle. So finding a triangle from this position is different than if we were standing already, but still I want you to think about your hip, your right hip going back, your left leg not hyperextending, but going towards that lifting right above the kneecap. So we don't go into like a lazy leg here or a locked leg. You could put your hands on the earth or a block. I can't really do this pose on the earth. I have to go into my lower leg. But then feeling the right hand definitely lift up out of this pose. The right hip is reaching back. Nips again, feeling the divinity of the sky. Oh, I saw a seagull. How can there be a seagull here? Is there water? Oh yeah, I guess the Bellagio. Okay, bringing both hands back towards that lunge, the runner's lunge. Stepping the right foot back, chaturanga, all the way down to the earth. Looking forward, cobra, pressing back into child's pose. Exhale, inhale, snaking forward into cobra. Back again to child's pose, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Finding that down dog. Pressing into the earth. Shoulder blades on the back. Tailbone to the sky. And tippy-toeing the feet to the hands. Forward fold, shake out the head, no. Shake it out, yes. Maybe using this pose to let any of the internalized toxicity of masculinity just shake out of your head. So if you ever hear, in the last creativity circle we did, we were naming our critic voices, which for some reason I feel like my critic voices always kind of have a masculine name. And it's interesting, everyone in the circle named theirs with a masculine name. One was even Dildo Man, you know? So, dang Dildo Man. Letting that voice come out, shake out of your head, and if it comes in, you know, being highly critical of what you're doing, you just say, hey, I'm gonna choose the attentive and not the aggressive. So thanks for coming over, but I'm gonna show you the door. Okay, slowly reverse swan diving up as you protect the navel to spine, arms up to the sky, bringing the prayer package all the way to the heart, connecting to an intention here as we do our other side. Let's make this an intention for the rest of the class to focus on one aspect of this internal part, whether it be like finding the breath in the body, finding the release of external thoughts. You can always find that mantra of Vam or Rama if you need to replace the thoughts with a sound. Finding the joy of the body, finding movement, finding breath in the body. Finding the connection between the divine masculine, the divine feminine playing in the body. Connecting to that
intention, just a little over midway of our class. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive down. Left leg comes back now. Left leg comes back. Anjaneyasana. Bring the knee down to the ground, navel to the spine, pulling that it's like a negative ion, positive ion between the 2 feet in a diagonal. So then protecting the lower back with the navel as you bring up into Anjaneyasana, soft as ghee, like butter. Oh my God, it's like butter in here. You could make butter melt in this pose. Walking in, looking to see you in this pose. What if you, and finding the avatar of a pose, like how he's saying sitting like a yogi, like what is the expression? How can you feel the expression of this pose with your body? Like that is the beauty of watching dance, is that like you're watching this divinity of the body, and taking out any sort of labels. How can you just really be this divine form in the body, pressing back into Hanuman, baby Hanuman. Not gonna go big Hanuman, but we're just gonna be a little baby monkey grabbing the mango. Baby monkey grabbing the mango. And yeah, you can point or flex the foot out here. Finding that, tightness in the hamstring. This is a really good pose to do. We sit so much. It's good to find this pose. Coming back to Anjaneyasana. Sucking the feet and the knee together. Arms up, gazes up, arch back. And come back down. Hanuman, straighten the leg, straighten the front leg. Let's go into that flow a couple more times, reaching up. Inhale, and then out. Back into Hanuman, exhale. And once again, up. Inhale, and out. Hanuman, exhale, straightening that front. Nice. Coming back into your lunge, tucking the back toe under for a runner's lunge here. Pressing the fingertips into the ground, finding that long line of energy from the top of the head all the way back through the heel, feeling that clean, long line of energy, bending the front knee, and then pressing the feet into the ground. Navel comes back to the spine. We raise the arms into a high lunge, crescent lunge. Oh, yeah. Nice. Bending that front knee. Straightening. Think about in the back thigh, you've got it's like almost like an old-fashioned iPod dock or something. You're plugging the back of the thigh up to the sky. So docking it up. That gives you just more energy on your back leg. Nice. Opening it up into warrior 2. Warrior 2. Yes. The deuce. Gazing over that middle finger. Yeah, just give a good gaze of a middle finger to to all the haters. Being a warrior with love, it's such an interesting thing. There were some hecklers last night. Or they're just like, it wasn't even that they were hecklers. They were just muggles. In Las Vegas. But it's this thing of like this spank and smooth. You gotta bring this, like, I called myself a fluffy dom last night. That is the divine masculine, little fluffy dom. And so, but I feel like that is like being a warrior with love. It's like, no, I'm gonna hold my space, I'm gonna hold my boundaries, but I'm gonna do it with a compassionate, open, gentle heart, not with spankings that hurt.
the spankings that you want. Okay, reverse the warrior. That's good long hold. Lean back, lean back, lean back, but kiss right knee forward as you open up the left side ribs. Oh my goodness. And now get that ring energy on your fourth finger. Yeah, ring and ring the heavens. Ring that bell. But seriously, like, get engaged with divinity. Like, let divine masculine put a ring on your finger. Reaching up. Nice. And side angle pose. Elbow to the knee. Left arm over the ear. Nips. Where's your nips? Let your nips curl up towards the sky. Don't put a lot of extra tension into your neck. Shoulder blade on the back. Oh, nasty. Nasty. I so want to straighten my leg, but I'm not. This is where we refine the resources. Doing this for something else, the good of the earth. Finding a little bit more strength here. Nice. And now we finally can straighten that right leg, and we'll find ourselves in a triangle. I'm gonna face towards you guys, but no matter what you're doing, reaching out into that triangle. Left hip going back, right hand finding the ankle or the shin or floor or block, and then the left hand coming up. Don't let that front knee get too wibbly wobbly. We're gonna apply some energy there above the knee. Helps protect the knee and strengthen it. Pressing the feet into the ground. Rooting to rising, feeling that root into the earth so then the left hand can really raise up. Then bringing both hands down to the ground into your lunge. Got your nice lunge here. Step back, plank pose, chaturanga to cobra or upward facing dog. And press back into child's pose. So nice. Releasing into child's pose here. Letting the head really just let it go. And then coming onto the bum for a little bit of Baddha Konasana, cobbler pose. Feet together. Read the feet like a little book. Pressing the sits bones into the earth. Releasing over, walking out however far you can. Releasing the heavy muscles of the neck and the head. And then as we're here, just like a little meditation on how clear it is when you see that people are living in a misguided interpretation of masculinity. You know, kind of puffing up in a way that's mimicking this idea of true strength. And noticing perhaps when, especially as women, we are trying to emulate this kind of misguided feeling of masculinity in order to survive in a man's world. Walking around, again, let the legs spread here into a big old wide position here. And same thing, just like letting yourself walk out as much as possible.
walking around Vegas last night, we were in the Fremont East experience, and it was absolutely like swimming through so many young people that were, I wrote this on my Instagram, but it was like this, everyone had this mixture of horniness and disappointment on their face. It's a mixture of horny, disappointed, and slightly desperate. No, it wasn't desperate, but it's like such a strange feeling, and especially seeing a lot of these like young heteronormative men. And I was thinking, oh yeah, women are so beautiful, even if they're kind of, confused. But men have it even harder because so many are just not even in their bodies. They're like holding on to this like very tight, limited expression of self. So finding the sensuality in the body of the man, the masculine, and how that is how we access the play. Women or the feminine is by nature more playful. And then reaching over to the left side, walking the hands towards the heel. And then, so you're on the left side, and the left hand is now going to come over to the right thigh, and the left elbow is going to come nestle into the left thigh. And then the right arm is going to sweep and paint the sky up over the energy of the toes. So there's just kind of a conversation between the left toes and the right fingers. And then your nipples, again, want to gaze at the heavens. Nice. And let's bring this whole package over to the right, coming over the knees, like facing the knee again. Bringing the arms, the fingers as close as you can to the ankles, or the knees if that's where you are, or the toes. We're all in different places with flexibility, and we're all going towards the same level of sensation. So it's just like the contortionists here at Ka or O or Cirque du whatever, they're just going further in this expression to feel that, to get the same sensation if they were doing yoga with us, which in a way I feel like they are. They just have to go further in the shape to feel this same sensation. I have to go less. So bringing the right hand to the left thigh, the left hand. Fingertips have a little conversation with the right toes. And then bringing the nipples up towards the sky. The sweet gaze. Sweet gaze. Where are my sweet gays out there? It's Pride Month. It's Pride Month. Oh. And bringing that up. I want to do like a 5-minute yoga nidra or relaxation with you, but we are at the 1 hour mark. If you need to go, I totally understand. But if you're here for me for just a little bit of a full body relaxation, let's lay down. Let us lay down. Let us lay down together. I'm gonna sit up, but you're gonna lay down. Oh, it feels so good, doesn't it? Maybe I will lay down. No, I'm gonna sit. As you lay down, I want you to really rest the body into the earth and release the bones into the earth. Feeling the bones soften. And once again, feeling that hug of the earth, the cradle of the ground. Not fighting against gravity. But welcoming it always here as this force that keeps us in a place of calm, a place away from spinning out or too often judging where we are. Letting the earth cradle you. And then this is the feeling of the divine feminine. The earth is divine feminine, holding you, always here as the mother. And then what we choose to do, the action we take, the tapas, the energy, is the masculine. And right now, let's just let that go. Feeling the heavy muscles of the thighs, hips, sink into the earth. Lying in warm sand, floating in the water. Imagine you are lying and around you is a circle of those that you love. And they're just sweetly gazing at you with warmth. Letting the toes relax. Every single one of your 10 toes just go into an effortless place and fill up with orange light or glowing crimson apricot, and then letting the light spill into your ankles. And as the light spills into the ankles, it's effortless here. You're only here, you don't have anywhere to be but right here, right now. As that energy spills up into your calves, the deep, heavy muscles of your calves. Releasing. Letting all the blockages be cleared out by this warm orange light, this light of attention, this light of ease, capability, covering up the knees, healing the knees. The light spills up into your complicated knee package and eases all the tendons around the knees and then up to the heavy, heavy quad muscles, hamstrings. The light charges up your largest muscle, your largest bone in your body, the heaviest bone in your body, your femur. And the light pooling around the sacrum, the sex organs, the perineum, the tailbone, the sits bones, the pubic bone, the sex organs, feeling your testes or your ovaries just be bathed in this sunset light. The sunset creeps along your spine and charges up your entire spine, feeling the long line from your occipital and your skull all the way down to your tail. Easing around your spine, this Nodi Shadna, this holy center line of the being glows in that calming orange light. Our ribs, our chest, our stomach, our digestion organs, the chest, the heart, effortless. There's nowhere to be but right here, right now, in this incredibly healing, relieving, restful, recharging return to joy. With this light, we return to joy. The deep, tense muscles of the shoulders, the trapezius, the lats, the actual shoulders, the shoulder blades, the forearms, the biceps, the wrists, our wrists that have so many micro movements, especially on our personal devices, letting the fingers completely rest, letting your thumbs find no movement or need to movement. They're just glowing, warm, light, orange light on your thumbs, your pointer fingers, finding absolute relaxation and rest in your middle finger, your ring finger, your pinky. And then up to your neck and your throat and your jaw, the eyes, the nose, the third eye, feeling that space, white light, the entire skull. The orange light is turning a little bit whiter to kind of a white, slightly warm, like a golden hue, and it's concentrating into the final chakra, the place where you were soft in the head when you were born, that hole to heaven. Get a hold of heaven. Feel that white, orangey light turning into an iridescent almost, as it makes a giant circle around you, illuminating all that you see and touch, and especially the circle of those that you love. Take a deep breath in, exhale. Arms over your head, like you're doing a morning stretch. Stretch it out through the feet, curling over to one side in a fetal position, this first position that you ever had. Relaxing, waking up, ready for this Sunday. And pushing up into a seated position. Coming into seat. Hi guys. Letting the eyes flutter open. Bringing the hands into prayer. And finding a little bow. Namaste. The light in me sees the light in you. The divine masculine in me sees the divine masculine in you. The Father in all of us. Thank you so much. And we thank our teachers, the people of the long lineage that have found a way to exist on this earth. You can unmute it for a second if you just want to have a couple words of anything, or you can just sign off. Thank you guys so much for coming today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yay. Look at you gorgeous people. Hi. Yay. Oh, I appreciate you being here.
Thank
Let
you.
me know if you have any questions or any comments or desires or hints about Zoom, I'll figure out some things. Debs has been helping me, and that we're in different places right now. So obviously I'm in like,
I'll give you a training course when you get home.
okay. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for being here on Patreon. Love you.
Thank you.